This is an introduction tutorial for Unity. If you've never used Unity before, this is a good place to start. So first of all, we're going to open up Unity. If you don't have Unity, you can always download it from the web store. So just head to Unity itself. And in downloads, you'll be able to go through and either download a PC version or a Mac version. I'm currently using a Mac, so I can choose your download. And there's different versions of the Unity software you can download. I suggest that you try the personal version first. This is also free, and then if you are making commercial software, there's some packages you can look at. So it's a good place to start. So once you've downloaded it and installed it, you can then open it up. And first of all, you're presented with the project screen. We're going to be starting by creating a new project. So we're going to click on New. And the first thing we're going to do is select a 2D project. The default was 3D, but we're going to start with a 2D project as this is our first project. And we'll be putting in a project name. I'm just going to call it Learning 2D. It's going to save it in a user shared Unity project. And I'm going to create the project. Once the project is open, you're starting with a blank project. When you start, there are four main areas. The first area, this blue area at the moment, is our scene. Now we can make sure that we all start the same by going to Window, going to Layouts and going to Default. This will make sure that we all start with the same layouts and panels in the same places. You notice that we actually have a camera on screen at the moment. And this is our work area in here. On the left hand side here, we've actually got our game object area. And at the moment it's only just got a main camera. On the right hand side we've actually got our inspector. In here you can actually see we've got the main camera selected, and this gives us all our options, and we can actually add new components like colliders, etc. to objects. Down in the bottom area we actually have our project window where all our assets and our code and all those sort of files and attributes will be stored. And we also have a console area down here, which is like a debug window for when we are coding, and if there's any errors, etc., they'll appear in this area. So I always leave that set to project at the moment. So this is our main layout. Now at the moment we have a blue screen here. You notice I clicked on the camera before and this little camera preview popped up. And at the moment the screen's blue, but we can't see that at the moment. But if I push the playhead, this will actually run our game. And at the moment there is nothing except for a blue background. If we want to change that background, we need to click play again to stop it. If I come over to the blue area here and click on that, I can then select a different color. So I can actually go to a complete different color, or I can go out to white. So I'm just going to go out to white and click on play. And now I have a white work area. Now you must make sure that you stop the program to make changes, otherwise any changes you do make won't be saved. Now let's start by putting a basic object out onto the stage. So we go up to game object, only go to 3D objects, and you actually see we can start with a basic cube, we can start with a sphere, etc. I'm going to start with a cube. And I'm just got that dropped on the stage at the moment. We're currently in 2D mode. If I click 2D, it will turn it into a 3D mode. But we're going to be working in 2D. So you can easily switch between the two, but we'll stay in 2D at the moment. Another set of options up the top here which are very, very important. The very first one is got to do with the movement of the stage, so the hand, and we can move things around. But it doesn't matter where we move it, when we hit play, the viewing window will always be central. So that just helps us move around our project. We can also do the same thing by right mouse clicking. So if I select another option and then right mouse click, you can see the hand appears and I can move around again. So it helps you move around. If I pinch on my Mac, I can zoom in or I can zoom back out. So I can just go to the full screen and then zoom back out by pinching. If I two fingers slide in, I can zoom in or zoom back. And some of these options you'll find very useful when you're developing your objects. So the hand allows us to move around the stage. Now with the next one, you notice the cube is selected. I can actually select the movement tool. This allows me to move an object up and an object down. As I move the object, you'll actually notice the cube in the inspector. You can see the XY positions over here. We can actually see those adjust. as we move them around. So this is the actual physical coordinates of the object. We can then go to the rotation. We can actually rotate the cube. You can see the rotation on the z-axis there. Then we can actually go to the scaling tool, which allows us to make the cube bigger. And once again, you can see scaling occurring here. Then we have what's pretty well the free transform tool, where you can actually stretch it around. Just makes life a little bit easier. And then what I like to do is actually have the transformation tool, which is the very last one, which gives you all the different options. So we can make it bigger, smaller, we can rotate it. So we can do all those sorts of things. If I turn it back into a 3D object, you can actually see the third dimension. You can actually make it a cube itself, but we'll go back and leave it in its 2D option at the moment. So I hope you found this tutorial useful. So remember to go up to File and go down to Save Project. So it saves everything we've done. And if you like the tutorial, give it a like and subscribe, and have a look at the other tutorials that I've made for Unity.